Flex, the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Question. We already know the question I'm going to ask. Everybody wants to know, Deontay Wilder offered $50 million.
It's very kind of him.
Are you guys going to take it? If not, why not?
Well, because we haven't had an offer yet. All we've had is a piece of paper from a guy from Alabama. So let's see a contract, let's see the proof of funds, let's see what we have to do and what our obligations are to earn that kind of money. If it's real, we have to look at it, and it's something that's of interest. But if they expect us to make a decision and accept a fight today based on a piece of paper from, as I said, a guy from Alabama, then they're widely mistaken.
First things first, I want to thank you and appreciate the invite that you had me to such a event.
No problem. Thank you for coming, sir.
I appreciate it. Now, Eddie, the last time we spoke and we did an interview, I asked you about the Deontay Wilder and negotiations, and you said in two different separate occasions you said that you need to see proof of funds. But I saw a video you did with IFL TV, and you said you never asked to see proof of funds. Could you clear up the confusion with that?
No, I haven't seen proof of funds. I haven't asked to see proof of funds. I've just asked some very simple questions, which they've answered, to be fair to them.
Let's see the proof of funds. Let's see the proof of funds. Let's see the proof of funds.
Let's see the proof of funds.
Let's see the proof of funds.
Just crack.
I caught him. I caught him, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I caught him.
Wow. Come on in, smash the like button. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Oh, yeah, buddy. This is a thinking exercise. So I know the numbers might be kind of low today because, you know, people don't want to think. Well, you know what? It's not that, you know. Well, it is, but it isn't. I'm going to challenge people to ask, why do they think a certain way? And I want them to defend it. And I'll open up the lines. I want to, you know, because I'm going to ask some questions. Because when you think of quality boxing, you think one way. When you think about the liars and the deceivers, you think another way. You sure can train a monkey, can't you? And what's crazy is when you try to explain certain things to people, yeah, buddy, they'll fight you over it rather than see exactly what you're saying, even when it's in plain view. So let's do this roll call real quick. Dow Big G, Mr. Shelton, G. McCall, Mac of the South, HMC, Dal Anderson, Steve Elder, Mac, Isaiah, my brother Thomas in the building, salute. Freedom's March, what's going on? Y'all must have forgot. Star City J, Ace Daddis, where you been? Good to see you, good brother. Main Biker, my brother, salute. Chilltown Majors. Stormy B-Man, the Sensei's in the building. Rashad Livingston, Jalen Hudson, 88 Sports Talk, BVO, Jeff Spark, salute. All right, Nada, what's going on, good brother? Yes, sir. Now, Duncan, what's going on? Salute to you. Much love. Now, this is a thinking exercise. When you think about what's wrong in boxing, my first question is, Tay, good morning. What do you mean? What's wrong with boxing? When I say, man, there's something wrong in boxing, what do I mean? Brother Reach, salute. What do you think I mean? And I'm talking to the ghost watchers and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm talking to y'all this morning. Y'all gonna get a link this morning too. Pangea Love Podcast, salute. Y'all gonna get a link. What do you think I mean when I say there's something wrong in the sport? What do you think I mean? Todd French, salute. Hen Dog, salute. Do you think that there's anything wrong in boxing? The other part to that question is, do you even think there's something wrong in boxing? What's boxing to you, and do you think there's something wrong with it? Two-part question. When I say boxing, what do you think of? What does it mean to you? Do you even believe that there's something wrong? I've been watching boxing with the critical eye since 1985. 1985, and I didn't know everything. I was 10. But I've been watching that long. I've been immersed into the sport, in and out of gyms and just, training and things of that nature, getting to know the sport and just overall loving the sport. So is it possible a person could get, immerse themselves into the sport, whatever they, feel, however they feel, and they just started watching the sport maybe 2 to 5 years ago? Can they love the sport? Yeah. Can they start loving the sport because of a fighter? A lot of people get involved in the sport because they took note of a fighter. That's not my issue. It's not my issue. How we view the landscape can be very different. Prolific, salute. It could be very, very different. How we view this thing. The discrepancy is when first of all, no one, Cameron, salute, Queen. No one ever asked the quote unquote old heads or OGs or old niggas, however you call us, whatever you call us. No one ever asked, hey man, what is the issue? Why y'all so grumpy and grouchy about boxing? And when we sit down and try and explain it, y'all don't even want to sit down. Y'all can't sit down. Y'all can't keep still. Y'all don't want to listen to what we say past 30 seconds. 15 seconds into an explanation, y'all start huffing and puffing, and then y'all say, hey man, it's not like that no more. This is how we do it now. Well, I did pep talk last night. You know what I talked about? I pretty much was talking about how the patriarchy is not in charge anymore. Y'all, men done let the women have it. Y'all, listen, y'all want to go ahead and be free and do what you want? Go ahead. We're going to step right out your way. And what's the result? Fully educated women jumping around on OnlyFans. They put the dollar over their family and they camouflage it by saying, hey man, this dollar that I'm making is supporting my family. But what was the cost? Do you factor in your kids are going? Some of these women, this one woman was a grandmother. Did you factor in your kids or grandkids got to go to school and the potential of their classmates knowing what you do for a living and why you show up at school in an expensive car getting dropped off? How'd you get that? Did you factor in that kids have to live with that? Rick Blackwell, salute. That's what I spoke about just last night. You're free to do what you want, when you want, how you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want to do it. That's fine. But what's the trade-off? Are you factoring in your family? No. It's just self-gratification, and you mystify the whole process by saying, I'm taking care of my family. And then when you sit down and try to explain that to them, all of a sudden you're wrong. And what I said last night is that modern men are just waving the white flag. You don't want to be bothered with men and their brokies and everything else. They said, fine, I'm going to get my passport and explore my options everywhere else. And that was a problem. Oh, Kevin Samuels this, Kevin Samuels that. He's gay, he's gay, he's gay. Well, the man's dead now. He's been gone like 3 years. Did the marriage rates go up? No. And now the latest thing is this AI robots that these dudes are purchasing. They really don't want to deal with y'all. So once you remove what y'all said was the problem, I mean, look, I spoke about how Disney lost $1 billion because of this woke feminist movement. Y'all done lost money. The idea of if you don't like it, don't watch it. Guess what? People didn't watch it, and now they're going on this whole campaign trying to get back the audience between the ages of 13 and 28 years old. Y'all done turned them off. These chicks in the WNBA running around complaining, oh, we're going to lock out, we're going to sit out. Good luck. I don't recommend it. Because nobody cares. Stephen X, salute. It's the same thing in boxing. When we try to explain these things to these new fans, y'all attention span it's really not, it's really limited. You don't care to listen. So why ask the question? You just want to argue. You want to tell us we don't have a reason to be mad at the sport today. And I tell y'all habitually, this is not what I came up watching. The reason why things were in place a certain way back then is because I got the fights that I want for the most part. Today, your behavior, the business has catered to the casuals because it's profitable for the business. But in exchange, we're not getting the best fighting the best. And these new kids are content celebrating a fighter's marketability. You heard the young brother Press get on here and say yesterday, Devin he has no personality. Really? Was Julian Jackson a personality outside the ring? No. He was an islander with a flat top. And when he caught you clean, it was night. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about his cars. I didn't care about his women. I didn't care about none of that. When that bell rang, he gave 110%. Sometimes he won, sometimes he lost. And I said a name that most youngsters don't even remember. They don't even care. Julian Jackson. Google it. When I tell these young brothers, hey, man, did you see the such and such fight? Oh, yeah, well, I know about it. No. Yeah, you know about the outcome. It says it on BoxRec. But did you watch the fight? No, I saw the highlights. No. Listen, I could put together a highlight reel of a Turl Gaddy and make him look like a complete dominant monster. But what do we know about a Turl Gaddy? Either he looked really good in the fight or he was an ass whooping waiting to happen. But somehow people loved him. And I'm not knocking that. He's Italian, Canadian, and when he came down to Atlantic City, the Italians came out in mobs to go support their guy. And I understood it. And Gaddy could fight. But when he fought pure boxers, it didn't work out for him. And God rest his soul. But there's certain things that are said about a certain quote-unquote demographic, whether you're a manager or an actual fighter, promoter, or whatever. You think one way about this group of people, and the others do the exact same thing, if not worse, and y'all turn the blind eye. That's why I played the Eddie Hearn video in the beginning. And shout out to Blue Blood because he lied to Blue Blood's face, and it was in the matter of what, 2 weeks? I know we all look alike, Eddie, but goddamn, you told him one thing, and then 2 weeks, then you, in between that, you had an interview with IFL, and then the same dude with the same fitted cap with the same name on it asked you to clarify something, and you lied to him. You lied. And that was what, 2018 that happened? That was pretty much our introduction in America to Eddie Hearn. And I said, oh man, why do I know that name, Hearn? Oh, Barry Hearn. This is his son? Oh boy. Todd French in that super chat, he says, to us that are rational, boxing has definitely changed in a social aspect. To those who have been able to monetize off of it, it's functioning perfectly, exactly. In what he's talking about are a few, not all. Let me be clear, not all, but a few of the bigger channels that go with whichever way the wind is blowing. They see what the streets are saying. No, not the streets. We're the quote unquote streets. They want to see what the casuals are saying because the casuals are in abundance. And what they do is say, okay, they liking this guy. They're liking this girl. Oh, okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cater to them. Press 1 if you stole it. So they start saying things that'll get them coming to their channel. And they have this whole rah, rah, rah. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Republican Party. It really does. Whether you like, and I don't want to make this a political thing, but I need you to understand something. Whether you like Donald Trump or dislike Donald Trump, what I do know is that party, the people within that party, a lot of them are out of their damn mind. Those people that ran up and stormed the Capitol, I mean, seriously? Seriously? Those cats were crazy. But guess what? How many people called them patriots? How many pardons was given out, man? Somebody got killed in that. Yeah, I saw those white folks, like the monkeys they were, climbing the side of the wall. And I'm like, what is going on here? Are you kidding me? If the Dems were in power and a bunch of Dems started climbing the side of a wall to get into a building and the majority of them were black, can you imagine? And Obama said exactly what Trump said. Can you imagine? True Boxing Night, Stephen X, salute. Copper, salute. Can you imagine? Ratchet, what's going on, good brother? Trey, what up? Yeah, Angel, all of that stuff. And I don't want to get too far off on that, but I'm just using that as an example. When you think of corruption in boxing, growing up, all I heard about was Don King. Don King. Yes, salute, Queen. Don King. Don King. Don King. He steal money and bup. Do you know how many fighters that I've met along the way that worked with Don King and didn't have a problem with him? You know how many? Tim, what up? Oh yeah, I know. I heard. Man, listen. Thank you. Let me just put that up there. Y'all see this? Is this new about the WBC? The WBC? Is this new? Is this new information? Let me remind you. This is the WBC, y'all. Listen and pay attention.
Hello, my name is Mauricio Sulaiman, Executive Secretary of the WBC. We would like to announce that we have begun an investigation regarding the situation that happened in a female championship fight last weekend in Mexico. The fight was between Juarez and Rigo Togo from Japan, and there was a situation in which the gloves were tampered with. The WBC is gathering all the reports from the supervisors, from both camps, and we will have a hearing with Togo's management to have them explain exactly what transpired during that situation of the gloves. Here's the evidence. It is a critical and alarming situation because the so-called skinning of gloves seems that happened for this fight. We are very concerned about this situation, and the WBC is gathering information regarding this happening not only in Mexico but other countries and other arenas. We are very concerned about the matter, and we will pay full attention to this situation, and we will inform accordingly of what happens after a hearing with Mr. Togo's manager. Thank you very much.
Now look, Adewale, salute. Now look, look. Say what you want. Mauricio Suleiman really looks out for his people, right? Don't he? So Jaime Munguia failing a PED test, that was an accident now, right? Do y'all remember the outrage when people thought that Clarissa Shields popped dirty and with the marijuana? Y'all remember that? It was big news for a second, right? Until she got cleared, right? Now, Rio Togo and La Barbie Juarez, right? That was their rematch, and apparently Rio Togo kicked their ass. And to them, it looked so unnatural to the point where they had to investigate the gloves. And the next day, the gloves were on his desk. Let me read this super chat real quick. Main bike in that super chat. He said 2018, Tank slow and dumb. Swag got him sexy, too weird. Yeah, bro. You, man. You already know, good brother. Word up, True Boxing Night. Yep. Fell on a needle and got positive or out of nowhere, right? But hear me out. You see those gloves on his desk. You already know where I'm going. When we would talk about Fury's gloves, his gloves, he didn't even bother to investigate it. You know what he said? In fact, he called us stupid. And we're just trying to ruin a historical night in boxing when Fury allegedly beat Wilder in the rematch. Remember that in the second fight? The second fight. He was like, wait a minute. Just go look at the damn gloves. He told us, shut up. He came on Barbershop Conversations channel and I spoke to him. Y'all remember that? And I said, hey, Mauricio, you know where the gloves are? He says, I don't know. I said, they're in Sugar Hill's house. I told him where they were. How do I know? Because Sugar Hill was on Fred's show and he told him. He said, well, where are the gloves at? He said, they're in my house. I said, oh, that's interesting. So I politely told Mauricio Suleiman, and I said, hey, man, look, they're in his house. No, we don't need to. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. So is Jaime Munguia guilty? I think so. But it's the WBC. Do I need to go through the Franchon Cruz DAZN situation again? Alejandro, her man ass? All we said was, hey, Mauricio, listen, was she tested? And where did he go? Drew bully her because she gay. Look, we know she gay. It's obvious. She goddamn, I think her girlfriend was in the ring, you know, after her hand was raised or something. Look, we know she gay. She don't hide it. We didn't ask that. We asked, was she tested? And he told us the same thing. You're just trying to ruin a historical night in boxing. another black fighter was beaten in the ring. Well, when she was tested, what happened? She popped because she was on hormonal drugs. She was going through the full sex change to become a man. There's a problem right there. You was trying to grow a penis. Took him 4 weeks to give Franchon Cruz DAZN her belt back. 4 weeks. Rick Tim, salute. Seen and unseen, salute. You understand? So this guy has a reputation of doing things like that. Mauricio Silly Man. And right now, they just cleared Jaime Munguia. I'm like, well, typical. He sure does look out for his people, and y'all say nothing. Y'all expect it. Is everyone going to be rolling in the streets? Do they want blood from Jaime Munguia? What? What's going on? Nothing. Oscar De La Hoya could walk around with wigs on and cross-dress and insert his registered lethal weapon fist into a woman up to his elbow. And he's still walking around like everything's fine, all forgiven. I can't imagine. Let's say that was Bernard Hopkins walking around cross-dressing and doing things like that. Let's say that was him. It would be spoken about every day on the day. Exactly, Thomas. I spoke to a few fighters that said, I ain't got no problem with Don. But the problems he did have with fighters was amplified. Y'all remember when Al Heyman burst onto the scene? Y'all remember that? Did we not go into full protection mode with him? Because you know what? No person in boxing is going to be picture perfect. We understand that. But he was falling under a lot of scrutiny that we knew was racially motivated. I'm saying this man is giving us free boxing on TV. Man, listen, Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman, not only was that a potential fight of the year, I don't remember all the fights that year, but it was a potential fight of the year, but it wasn't on pay-per-view. Didn't we get Danny Garcia versus Keith for free too? I came on CBS out here, I believe. I said, man, this guy, Al Hammond, he's trying. He's trying. He's trying to bring boxing back to regular TV. I appreciate that. Is he perfect? No. But we knew what that attack was about. Y'all remember when Eddie Hearn came over here with DAZN? I got to remind you of these things. Y'all remember when Eddie Hearn came over with DAZN with the shades on? They ran out and got Tracy Morgan. Pay-per-view is dead. Man, get your money, Tracy. And I said, you know what? It sounds good, but you want us to pay. This was back in 2015, 2016. I said, well, let me get this straight. We're paying for this app to watch boxing? And it was like, nah, it's not only boxing, it's other sports and whatever. And I look and I check. I'm like, I don't watch soccer. And I say that respectfully. Because soccer is a huge sport in this world. I'm American. I just don't watch it like that. I just don't. But I said, okay, soccer's on there. What else? Cricket? Ping pong? Wait a minute. And boxing. Now, I love me some boxing. And then I heard they're going to be airing all of these fights from the UK or whatever. I said, now look, I will be sitting around and I'll turn it on. I'll just start watching boxing. But that's me. I'm a supporter of the sport. I was the guy back in the 90s. I look forward to Friday nights. Who else is like me? You know why I look forward to Friday nights when I was younger? Right? Well, number one, there was less bills to pay. I lived with my mama. But y'all remember Friday night fights on ESPN? Joe Tessitore? Not even Joe. Matter of fact, Joe Tessitore wasn't even there yet. Y'all remember Friday night fights? Watch this. What was the name of the boxing channel that came on, was it Telemundo or Galavision? I didn't understand a goddamn word, but I watched it. I watched Rocky Juarez on there a bunch of times. Ricardo Rocky Juarez. I would flick between ESPN and I think Telemundo because they had their own boxing program on Friday nights. I love boxing. Y'all remember Tuesday night fights on USA? And I believe there was a Sunday show for a little while. Boxio. That's me. Yes, yeah, J-Man. Spike TV came much, much later. I'm talking early 90s. So the DAZN app, as it pertains to boxing, I said, oh, this is a good idea. But you know what the problem was? The problem was everybody's not like me. You can't go to your place of work and have an educated discussion around the cooler about boxing. You can't do that. I can't do that where I work. People come to me and say, yo, man, what's up with this fight? And da-da-da-da-da. And I'll give them some information and that's it. But there's nobody in there I can talk to. I'm by myself. So I said, how the hell is he supposed to market this DAZN app? And I said, you know, and I say this respectfully, I don't think Eddie Hearn understands the American market. Matter of fact, that's a question I asked him. If y'all remember, I asked, what have you learned about the American market since you've been working here? He said, that's a good question, but he had to go to the stage. But I really would like to hear him elaborate on that. Steve L, you sent it to me where? Oh, that's when you hit. You crazy. That's when you saw him in Jersey. Yeah, you call him a scumbag. Man, F that guy, man. F that guy. But when you talk about corruption, you know, when Al Heyman burst onto the scene, man, you know, they were trying to drag Al, and all I saw was the work he was putting in. Now, is he perfect? No. Do I like how he handled the Bud and Errol situation? No. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got this one troll in here. I mean, the homosexuality is out of control, dude. I know you want to fuck, but I'm a straight male. I'm a straight male. Now you see, this is a thinking exercise. This is a thinking exercise, and the insecure ladies, this is when you see the weirdos in here, ladies, that's when you apply the term little dick energy. That man has no penis. We're in here having a conversation. And it says thinking exercise in the title. And he's trolling and using 78's picture and shouting out Jaime Munguia. What grown man? I bet you that person is past 30 years old. Found time, Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm having a conversation and he's doing this. Yep. So this is what I'm talking about. A detractor. So Don King, villain, right? Al Heyman, villain, right? Bill Haney, right? He be lying, right? That's what y'all say, right? He be lying. Look at those 5 faces on the right side of the screen. I just played you the Eddie Hearn lie. He lied straight to Blue Blood's face. Straight to his face. And I'm watching this in disbelief, like, wait a minute, that's not what he said. So I got on YouTube and I found the interview and I said, wait a minute. He absolutely asked to see, what does he think? What was that, a Jedi mind trick? What the fuck? You kidding me? All I see is the work. Y'all said Al Heyman was some monster and this, that, and the third. I'm like, well, I saw a bunch of free fights on TV and I saw, guys lining up. Now, was his business practice, did his style of business run out eventually? I think it did, the way he was working. But shout out to Al Heyman for giving us what he gave us for the time he gave it to us. I appreciate that. Don King. Is he a saint? Absolutely not. But like I said, I spoke to a bunch of fighters that said, hey, I ain't never had a problem with Don. But wait a minute. Bob Arum was around just as long as Don King. He had his place of business raided by the FBI. He had to admit to fixing fights. This is all public record. Y'all do know that, right? The FBI got involved in his business, and Top Rank, they had to admit to fixing fights. Y'all do know this, right? Shout out to Bob.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, man. Trey, what up? Yeah. Yeah, Rick. Rocky Juarez. Yeah, man. Xavier, what up? Sure Will in the building. Salute. So when you think corruption, a black face always pops up. You think liar, Bill Haney's face pop up. What did I say? What did I say? This dude wants to sick my duck so bad. This dude wants to sick my duck so bad. Dude, this 9-iron is reserved. It's reserved. Damn, I must have really hurt his feelings. What did I do? How many times I got to block you? I mean, what did I do? Was it pep talk or was it my boxing opinion? Which one was it? When I did pep talk, did I hurt your feelings? Are you an overweight loser, or you got a little dick, or you went through your girl's phone and you found all of my videos on there? I gave y'all a break, man. I don't put my camera on in the mornings. Mike 202, salute. I gave y'all a break. I mean, what's the problem? He's going to make another account and come back. And get the views up, man. I mean, come on. Thanks to the support of the people and the support of the trolls, I have not used my personal check from my job to pay my car note or my phone bill and a few other things in a very long time. Yeah, so there you go. See? So, you do what I tell you to do. Get my views up. That's what you do. Get my views up, and I'll just keep swatting you. Now, come on back. Do what I tell you to do. Come back for the big dick. That's what you do. Come back for the big dick. Come back for the sausage. Come back for the sausage. That's what you do. That's what you Brits call it, right? Return for the sausage. So I'm trying to educate here. You ever been in class trying to get that education and that one little nigga in the middle is throwing spitballs? And I don't even know if kids do that anymore. They just disrupting the class. And you know what the bottom line is? They can't read as well as you. You know what the bottom line is? They can't concentrate. They can't focus. So they want to disrupt everyone around them. It's insecurities. That's what they do. That's what it is. They're just very insecure. There's women in the chat looking at you crazy right now. But come back for the penis. Come back for it. You know you want it. You ain't gonna get it.
Get your hand off my penis!
Yeah.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
Yeah. Come on back. Do what I tell you to do. You know what's interesting? Who wants to bet there's a 98% chance that that's a knuckle dragger doing this? Who wants to bet that that's a knuckle dragger doing this? That ain't no cracker. That's no Latino. That's a knuckle dragger doing that. That's a big lip monkey doing that. And here I am making a point, and he is so upset with me because I'm 6'2", I got a six-pack, I got big shoulders, I got a big dick. People come listen to what I have to say every morning, and he doesn't have that same love. Clarence, what up, brother? PJ, salute. And instead of participating in an educated manner, he has to do this. You spelled Titan wrong. Vernell? That's a Southern woman's name. Wait a goddamn minute. Vernell? 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 Oh my God.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
Thank you, Shelton. Anyway, back to regularly scheduled programming. God damn it.
Man crush.
Oh my God. These dudes are just, I mean, you want to talk about homo out of your mind? Sound the alarm! Now you got to be subscribed for more than 5 minutes to speak to me. Angry? Are you angry? Now watch this. Mr. Shelton, do me a favor. Here's what you do. Make it 2 days. Make it 2 days. Some nigger named Kool-Aid Blood Sport. What the fuck? What is going on with you niggas? You know why I scream about the size of my penis? Because you know what? You know why? Even if I was broke, I'd be good. You know why? When you have a big dick, life is easy. Why do you think these bitches that have prestigious positions in life scream about having a baby daddy that's not shit? You know why? He done knocked her spine out of alignment. What do I talk about with women with sexual self-gratification? Their life is good, but you know what? is fucked off because they don't have 100% of what they want because their baby daddy ain't shit. Now, why do you think they got with a guy that ain't shit? You know why? Because he's hung like a horse. Say it what it is. The difference is I make money and my wives are lucky. And I want to remind niggas like you that you could never be me. I've won in the genetics department. You have it. Don't get mad at me that you stopped growing at 5'5". I didn't do it. Blame your mama and blame your daddy. Don't get mad that you can't do 20 push-ups. That's your fault. Whatever you got going on in your life, you did it. And you come over here and trying to disrupt what I do because you don't like my opinion about boxing or pep talk or whatever. Look, man, you got titties because you don't do push-ups and you eat all fucked up. Your girl cheating on you right now. Right now. Because you're not fulfilling her. Because if you was, you'd be with her and not over here fucking with me. Now, Kool-Aid, blood sorts, whatever the hell you got going on over there, go away. Go away. Think about what I said. And get on code. Because I know you're a nigger. You're not a black man. You're just a nigger. And that's fine. Because I'm trying to show what's going on when you think certain things in boxing, who you think of rather than others. And you're over here with a personal vendetta. An insecure one at that. Now, the last grown adolescent I let up here, that nappy-headed nigga that wanted me to look at the top of his head because what he wanted me to do is envision him blowing me. See, that kid was gay. And he was angry. That was his problem. See, I see right through all the bullshit. He wasn't educated on what Pep Talk was about. He's not educated on what I do here on my boxing channel. And he's just angry. All he did was he saw a dude that he liked. But he said, man, this dude is into women. I'm mad at you. What male gets out of his bed to troll another man while they're working? I bet you wouldn't get your girl on here and explain why you're doing that. Because she'll look at you and be like, why are you spending time here when you could be up in me? Don't worry. You know why? Because somebody else is up in her. While you're here, she's somewhere else getting throated. You know what the most, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to get off of it. The most disrespectful thing. I've known women to be so through with their quote unquote boyfriends that they'll go see their side dude only to blow them. I'm being dead serious. I'm like, man, that's anger. That's anger. Mansa Musa, salute. That's anger. She not even letting dude plow. What she dude don't even need to plow it. I knew a shorty that was so done with her boyfriend. The other dude, she was just blowing him in the car, in the staircase, in his bed. I said, you ain't never let him plow? She says, no, he don't need to. He never asked. I just lip him up. I was like, whoa. Damn. You need to pay more attention to your household. That's a little pep talk. Pay attention to your house. Less attention on the dude you claim you don't like and pay more attention to your household. That's your problem. That's your problem. I am not the athlete. I am not the fighter. I don't claim to know it all. But you make it your business to make several accounts to come bother me. Why? Don't understand it, though I do. You're a homosexual. And that's fine, but you're not going to get anywhere over here. So take your insecurities, all right? Go see a counselor or a therapist. Come all the way out that closet, right? Acknowledge who you are. Leave them girls alone because you're just dragging them along. And go be a fairy. That's it. It's not going to be therapeutic for you to be over here. I'm not going to enable your ridiculous behavior. I'm not going to do it. Y'all think I'm making this shit up? It's not. What grown man? I mean, really think about this. What grown adult male makes it their business to troll? Dude, I hope you're rich and you're just bored to tears. That's the only thing I could think of. Your pockets got to be deep as hell and you're bored to tears. You ain't got a care in the world and this is just what you do because you want to do it. Because if you got a wife, if you got children, if you got a job, there's 1,001 things this morning you could be doing other than over here trying to disrupt what I'm doing here. That's why I say you're a homosexual. The only thing that I could think of is you are infatuated with me. You don't see me anywhere where I'm not welcome or that I just don't like the person's material. You don't see me there. But I see y'all niggers here. But anyway, David Gaines, salute. Anyway, this is the thinking exercise. When you think about what's wrong in boxing, who do you think of? I got 5 faces on the right-hand side, and I got 3 on the other. That was by design. Eddie Hearn is a liar. We had a lot to say about, Devin Haney. He had a lot to say about Deontay Wilder. He got a lot to say about a lot of shit. He's a liar. Gotta let him get away with it. Bob Arum and Don King been around boxing for the same amount of time. Bob Arum's place of business was raided by the FBI. He literally has gone to court and had to admit that he fixed fights. Y'all let him get away with that. I played the Cameron Duncan audio about the no black fighter board in the office. It was true. But do you think this young generation even knows about that? And when we bring it up, you know what they'll say? So, why is that important? Why is it important? You know what? These guys got you knuckle draggers right where they want you, not caring about the important shit. Frank Warren, do I need to go on about him? I won't. Let's go to Barry Hearn. Matter of fact, don't take my word for it. Y'all know this. Y'all all heard about this. Maybe y'all haven't.
The next gorilla in the room, if you like, is Dylan White.
What did he just say?
The next gorilla in the room, if you like, is Dylan White.
That's Eddie Hearn's dad, y'all. Now, I want you to look at... Please look at Dillian White's face, man. Y'all heard BFTB talk about this? This is it. This right here. I didn't really have a problem with Dillian White back then until this moment. I literally looked at this and said, what the fuck is wrong with him? What's wrong with Dillian White? Is he in the sunken place? What the fuck was this? This right here? This right here. Because I know a lot of y'all haven't seen it, but this right here, this did it. I need you to listen.
I'm not sure I liked him so much when he first started. Son of a bitch, he's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders.
All right. Y'all never saw this? Who's never saw this? Press 1 if you, and salute the champ side. Every time I say press 1, I gotta give, I gotta give credit to my brother. Press 1 if you've never saw this before. You never seen this? Who's never seen this? Press 1 if you've never seen this. Y'all thought we was just making it up? And I know this is chopped and a bit edited. But this happened. This happened, y'all. I think this was before the pandemic, or we were coming out. This was a while ago. Nah, Clarence, this is what BF has talked about. This right here was what made me throw my hands up with Dillian and say, you know what? I don't know what the fuck's wrong. This is right on the lines of when I said, some of you didn't see when Larry Merchant gave his dialogue after Wilder Fury, their second fight. And I said, wait a minute, what is Sean Porter sitting there smiling with all his teeth out his mouth? Looking like a fucking xenomorph with an afro. Chasing Ripley around with a face hugger behind him. The fuck? What the hell was that? That was the moment I said, I can't fuck with Sean Porter. Dillian sat there and laughed. He didn't even lean over. He should have nudged him or something. Steve-O, salute. And say, yo, chill. I don't understood that he understood. All you had to do was say, yo, Barry, chill. I'd have said, oh, okay. He knows that was out of line. But he didn't do it. So this nigga sat there and smiled about it. Sean Porter sat there and smiled about it. What am I supposed to do with that? Now, I could show this to one of these YNs right now, and they won't get it. This was the time we started calling him the Lycan, Shelton, exactly. Because Deontay's trying to get the AJ fight for undisputed. It meant something. Eddie Hearn thought of every option to erect in front of him. The assholes supported it. And he's trying to throw Dillian White at him, and Dillian White didn't have no belt or nothing. Aaron, salute. Why should Deontay run the fucking gauntlet? He was a champion. And the fight never happened. Because of the Barry Hearns and Eddie Hearns of the world. Deontay was cheated because of the Bob Arums and Daniel Kinahans of the world, and Eddie Hearns of the world, and Barry Hearns of the world. This is what you get. And when we don't stand on our business as a united front, this is what we get. Behind closed doors, they say, man, these niggas, they don't unite on anything. We're fine. We can do what they want. They're too busy fighting each other.
We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss.
Look at him smiling. JB, my brother, salute. Oh, yeah, Hearns was in the Epstein report. Yeah, I heard about that. Yes, sir. Y'all ain't know? Y'all ain't know this? They were on that island too. Those dudes are millionaires, man. They were there. I'm not saying they did anything, but they were there. There's a lot of people guilty by association, man. There were people on that no-fly list that got caught up with that MTK Global with Daniel Kinahan. There were people on that list that didn't have anything to do with it. They're like, whoa, we were just getting a check. We just fighters, man. Okay, well, you can't fly until we sort this out. Josh Taylor was caught up in that. Who else was caught up in that? Was it Savannah Marshall or Katie Taylor? One of those chicks was caught up in that shit too. They didn't do anything. They were just there, guilty by association. So the Hearns was in the Epstein report. Did y'all know that? Now watch this. If Bill Haney was in the Epstein report, Every day we got on this bitch, we would hear about it. You feel me? Andrew 100, salute. And you're right, Andrew. And this dude says it's so normal, and Dillion's a Brit. This behavior is normalized. So when we say there's a history with this, how many times have I told y'all, go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing and just pick a video and play it? When he talks about racism in the sport, he's not making it up. He's talking to the guys that lived through it before they died. And they told them what was going on back then. This is documented stuff. And all the YNs could say is, well, it's not like that today. Not to that degree, but it's more covert. So it's happening to you and you don't know it. Let's see. I do got a couple of million in the bank, but I can't fight no more. My hands hurt. The doctors won't clear me. I'm 29 years old. I got $2 million, but I know I made about 100. I grossed about 100 mil. Where my money at? You're stuttering all over the goddamn place. You can't get a broadcaster job. You're too stupid to double your money. You don't know what businesses to get involved in. And now all of a sudden that $2 million, you're like, shit, the next year, that's going to be $2,000. What do I do? But wait a minute. I know that pay-per-view did so well. Where my money at? And then Barry Hearns smiling like that. Smiling like that. Let me bring it back for you. This is what he said. Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. Listen. Look at him. Look how Dillion looks at him. Good boy. Ruff, ruff. Good boy, Dillion. Good boy, Dillion. Ruff, ruff.
The slave contract of yesteryear, when I was running boxing, it was much easier.
Slave contracts of yesteryear, when I was running boxing, it was much easier. Who's this? Adam Smith? That's who that is on the right. Look at them smiling, bruh. Look at that.
We were slave traders.
Bro.
We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss.
Sooner or later.
Let's have no bullshit, shall we? We're in the money business.
Wow. Wow. Now, we're in the money business. I agree. On one hand, I'm not mad at Floyd for conducting his business the way he did. I'm not mad at no fighter getting their bag. But they could up the ante. I'm going to get my bag, but if my contemporary needs a bag, I'm going to help him eat. I'm going to say it one more time. If my contemporary needs a bag, I'm going to help him eat because all we got is us. Because if I deleted the middleman and I'm not working with no Hearns or Arams or none of that, not even no Don Kings. If I'm a master of my own destiny and my brother needs a helping hand, I'm going to help him. Now, y'all should know I'm going to bring up Tank Davis. Y'all should know this already. You know why? He is the bag, right? But that's proven to be false, but he's the bag. We said, why is he fighting Lamont Roach? You know what y'all told us? Oh, that's his friend. He's looking out for him. I said, I thought, according to Boxing Shigo, I thought he wasn't trying to be friends with anyone in or around his weight class. That's what he put in his love letter and y'all co-signed. Okay, so he's helping his brother eat. I hear that. He fights to a draw. Everyone wants a rematch. He's fighting Jake Paul. And then he trolls his friend. I thought that was his friend. I thought he was helping him eat. What happened to that? You see my problem? When you remove these racist crackers from the situation, you niggas are still doing it to yourself. Drew, what's your problem with Tank? You ain't listening. You're not listening at all. Y'all know what the transatlantic slave trade was? Do y'all know? I'm talking to the YNs. I know y'all scared to type. It's okay. You have a phone. You have a $1,000 phone in the palm of your hands. Google it. The transatlantic slave trade. Man, you YNs are so uneducated and ridiculous. They tried to delete American history, slavery in America. They tried to like get y'all to not talk about it. They tried to get y'all to not talk about it. Hey, it happened, but stop speaking on it. That's not who we are anymore. Bullshit. Go on and tell a Jewish person not to talk about the Holocaust. Go and tell a 19-year-old Hasidic Jewish person not to get educated on the Holocaust. You will get canceled out of your socks. With us, another day at the office. Eddie Hearn referred to his business in boxing as a transatlantic deal. Did you remember when he said that? To the YNs who want to fuss with us all the time. When he said that, did you hear him say that? Do you know what that meant? We don't initiate racism in this. He just said that shit. I was like, wait a minute, what did he say? What did he say? He really said that? He sure did. Straight to your face. Yeah, Felix, yeah, he was. I was talking about that a second ago before he pulled up, brother. Yep, both of them. Like father, like son, they're both in that report. Eddie, Barry, same shit. I put them both in there. It might have been Barry, but so what? Super Mac time, salute. Go and ask a dumb nigga like Tank Davis, what's the transatlantic slave trade? What is that? Baltimore. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with. When you remove these racist crackers from the equation, these niggas still don't get along. Because I got more people on Bill's bumper and Al Heyman's bumper and Don King's bumper. And I don't see those same niggas with any smoke for Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn, Bob Arum, who had a no black fighter rule in the offices. In oh my God, it was all confirmed, y'all. So when I look into the thought process of the modern boxing fans, I'm not impressed. Realistically, I show extreme patience. When you tell me, y'all, I've been following the sport for a couple of years. Okay, please. I'm really not going to argue with you. And you damn sure shouldn't be arguing with me. Because the reality is, you don't know what I know. When we say these things, you ignore it. Not because it doesn't make sense to you, but because you don't want to know, because you just want to be right. You just want to be right. How many times you heard me on my airwaves say, educate me? If I don't know something, I'll tell you, educate me. You tell me what you tell me and I'll research it. Why are you hating on Dillian White? Well, y'all never seen this. It is 2025. This is about 5 years old now, right? Goodness.
And we're here to make a lot of money for Matchroom Sport. We're not fighting someone like Deontay Brazil. Sorry, Tony Bellew. Lots and lots of money.
Yep. 6 years ago. 6 years ago, man. 6 years ago. If that was chopped up, if that was too chopped up for you, here's what I'll do. This is the link to the actual, this is from Seconds Out. Excuse me. Y'all watch this at your own leisure. From Seconds Out. G Tatted, salute, brother. Y'all go ahead and do that. Go watch it. That's it in its entirety. Because that one was chopped up, but there's no difference. I watched it in real time and I was disgusted when he said that, slave drivers. I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at Dillian and he just, oh my God, bro. He lost all privileges, bro. It was over. Over. So when you leave it up to these knuckle draggers, they don't know any better because now they've been so conditioned, they're doing it to themselves. Okay, so why in God's name isn't Tank breaking bread with his brethren right now like he did the first time? Because y'all told us it was about money. It was about him looking out for his friend. He didn't go all out on him in the match, and it looked the way it did because they're really friends. That's what I was told. That's what that old bald crackhead from Chicago said. Yeah, that's really his friend, and Tank ain't go all out on him because that's his friend, and he wanted to make sure he made money in Chicago. Southside. I'll kick a man in a wheelchair down the stairs if he fuck with me. Yeah. Nah. That's what he told y'all. So how about that rematch? Break some more bread and make some. I think the numbers in the rematch would do crazy good. I think it'll do crazy good. He'll do crazy good. Yeah, Mr. Shelton, that nigga don't even leave his house. Fuck out of here. He won't go nowhere. I love dudes that rep a portion of their city where they claim they're from. You know what the funniest shit in the world? Funniest shit in the world is when somebody's repping some dangerous ass block and they really live there, but the thing is, they don't know that you know people on that block. And you say, you know so-and-so? Like, yeah, that nigga don't come outside. Every time we see him, he going to the store or he's going to school. That's it. He not outside like that. Interesting, man. You know, when Tank put up that post and, oh, we know where your kids go to school at or whatever the fuck, all of that gangster shit, man, get your dumb ass in the ring and set Lamar straight. He didn't do it. But never mind that shit. How about this? Break bread with your brother, like the Fanatics said you were doing. You took it easy on him. You didn't beat him up too bad. You fought to a draw. Salute, General. The real general's in the building. And you could do it again. You could get 2 paydays. But you rather pump fake and fight a guy that's literally a foot taller than you and 100 pounds heavier than you. Drew, what's your problem with Tank? Shit, you ain't been listening. Why don't you have a problem with Tank? Y'all heard the brother Prez yesterday? Y'all heard what he said? I said, well, he's fighting Jake Paul. So after this, David Benavidez shouldn't be off the table. And he conceded. He said, well, yeah, if he wants that fight, then okay, well, there it is. He opened up that door. After Jake Paul, he could fight a fucking heavyweight, especially if he knocked Jake Paul out. Why are we even having this conversation? All we want is the best to fight the best. What is going on? I had his relative on my panel tell me Tank is really a small dude. He just got a big head. That's what he said on my panel. But he hit hard. Look, I get it. Okay, man. Can he just knock out all his contemporaries? I ain't got no problem. Can he do it? Why am I having a full-blown debate over what he woulda, shoulda, coulda, and he's just not doing it? Why are these kids running around in their prime right now, but these things are fantasy matchups? Y'all have learned nothing from Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. That fight took 4 years to make, damn near 5. Y'all learned nothing from Wilder and AJ. That fight still hasn't happened. And it's all Eddie Hearn's fault. Manny and Floyd took 4 years because of Bob Arum and Manny. You got Oscar De La Hoya bigging up Ryan Garcia for not taking the Haney rematch because he was boring? And y'all cool with that? So we got all this dysfunction amongst black fighters on our side. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn, liar. Oscar De La Hoya, liar, drug addict, alcoholic, womanizer. The Hearns are on a goddamn Epstein report. And Frank Warren, come on, man. He's been around just as long as everybody else, doing the same shit. But I see more hate videos towards Bill and Al. And if Don King was healthy enough to be up and around and walking around making a noise, y'all be talking shit about him too. So when I say corruption in boxing, who do you think of? Ask a YN. If I say corruption in boxing, give me a name. Give me a name. If I told the YN right now, you watch boxing? Yeah. You a fan? Yeah. Point out the most corrupt motherfucker on this meme right here. There's only 3 black faces on there. Who wants to bet they're going to point to Al Heyman? If I say put them in order, from most corrupt to the least, they're going to go Al, Bill, Don, or Al, Don, Bill, or Don, Al, Bill. But it's going to be 3 faces, top 3. Then the rest, they're going to say they don't know. You think a YN knows who Barry Hearn is? So when I look at the thought process of the modern boxing fans, that term modern, you know what I equate modern boxing fans to? It's the same thing when I say today's modern woman. That is not a flex. That is totally an insult. OJ Bean, yeah, I know. I didn't even put him up. I didn't have room. There's a few people I could have put up there. But I got to lay off that for a particular reason. I got to lay off that for a particular reason. Lil bro's working with him right now. So I got to be easy for his sake. Yep, I ain't put Suleiman up there either. Bill Haney business-wise is on the same level as everybody on this page. This man gets on people's podcasts and let people cuss him and scream and holler. And all I've seen him do is win. I'm looking at the work. Devin, youngest undisputed champion, waltzed through from 135. And all I said is, man, how did Shakur and T.O. and Tank, how did y'all allow him to do all of that? There was an undisputed champion at 135, and y'all just allowed it to happen. Y'all didn't intervene in anything. No problem. Before he went to 140, he said, yo, Shakur, let's get it. Bob said no, and Shakur said, I know my worth. You know your worth? Okay, you turn right around and fought Edwin De Los Santos and stunk up the joint, according to ESPN and the fans, and they show people leaving the goddamn arena. I hope you made as much money fighting that night that you did fight, that you would have made fighting Devin for undisputed on pay-per-view. When I talk about the work that a man's putting in, what am I met with? What did the young brother Press say yesterday? Devin's boring. Excuse me. We've heard this before. You see, a decade ago, Press was a little younger, but he wasn't paying attention to the landscape. Didn't they say that about Floyd Mayweather? And what did I say? What did we as a collective say? I wasn't online at the time. But I said, man, I don't care if he's boring, he's winning. You don't like his style, beat him. Y'all thought y'all had one with Ryan Garcia, and then you found out he was racist. Y'all still trying, play that role. Oh, I don't agree with the racist stuff. No. But we saw. Yeah, he cheated. Oh, it was a billionth of a gram. That's what we doing. See, if you let that go, you got to let everything go. Jaime Munguia just cleared. It was a mistake. See, right in your face, and no one's outraged. No one's doing videos about it. Jaime Munguia just cheated. And he was caught. And WBC said all is forgiven. All this burning vigor for Bud Crawford. And he's about to fight the cheater. The biggest cheater. You know why? Because the biggest cheater is also the biggest name in boxing today. Canelo Alvarez. And Bud's about to fight him. He's a cheater. Did we forget that? I have a saying, man. Do not tell me what your priorities are. Show me where you spend your money, and I will tell you what your priorities are. You understand me? You probably won't. You're ignorant. And that's why the troll, that one troll came out here heavy. What did you get? Disruption, and one clown says, oh, I'm a Tank hater channel. That's what I'm saying. I wear that proudly. I hate on Tank. Yes, I hate him. But I can completely justify it. Tank is a expert at monkey kung fu. Tank is a liar. Now, if you like getting lied to, that's why I equate modern boxing fans to modern women. Modern women, when they do choose a man, they choose wrong. He turns into a baby daddy, not a husband, and you're running around on Instagram and TikTok screaming and hollering about a guy that ain't shit. The reality is, people who knew that guy, they probably tried to warn you, and you called them haters. You made a decision to lay up and procreate with a dude without the promise of marriage. He spit out his kid, and he does what a nigga does. He only comes around when he wants to clap those cheeks. He'll give you about $100 a month, and he'll ride off into the sunset with the next chick, and you running up on shorty, busting out her windows and putting yourself in ridiculous situations that you don't need to be in. But you made that decision. Modern day boxing fans, modern women. Salute to my brother Junior the Truth in the building. The redhead is a cheater, and Bud's about to fight him. So at this current junction, I don't give a fuck about how people feel about this fight. I'm riding with Bud. And Bud's not a prince of a person himself, but I'm riding with Bud off a general principle. I could take a second to get on code. I could take a second to get on code. I can. I can. Tank can't. Not at all. Which is why I'm removed from what he's doing. Especially Tim Bradley. All these coons, they're worried about their bottom line. They're worried about their bottom line. So you got to let some of these niggas go. When you think about corruption in boxing, these modern day boxing fans, they relate it to a black face. But when you ask them what an Eddie Hearn is, they don't know. They'll look at you like you crazy. They'll be like, oh, no, I ain't into all of that. See, you into all of that. I ain't into all of that. Like me being into all of that is a bad thing. Like me knowing what I know is an overdose of information and it's not important. And I'm telling you, these white folks, some of these Latin folks, they depend on you behaving like that. Because that gives them free reign to do whatever the fuck they want. Because you enable it. Now I'm rooting for Bud. I hope he stops Canelo. But it's boxing. But I'm going to stand on the belief that Bud's going to win. Because Canelo's not unbeatable. We've seen him lose. We know we'll give him trouble. And I'll give a detailed assessment next week. But when you look into the thought process of a modern boxing fan, what I'm saying is modern boxing fans are like modern women. They argue a lot and they don't know shit. There, I just summed this whole show up with one sentence. They argue a lot about nothing and they really don't know shit. They argue a lot about nothing and they really don't know shit. Oh, I know Rick Timms. And I'll come on here with a snack shirt. Yep. Modern day boxing fans are like modern women. They argue a lot about nothing and they don't know shit. All these bitches screaming and hollering on social media are not married. They had a man, but they blew it. Y'all saw that clip where Shorty said she left this dude because he was too perfect. Pause. What the fuck is that? You had the perfect man and you left it. What is that? And what was even more frightening was the comment section. I hear you, girl. I went through the same thing, girl. Oh my God. There's no rehabbing these bitches. No. No. I could point out the discrepancy and just say, look at this shit. And they'll get in my comment section and scream and holler, and some pandering ass nigga will get on here. No, see, you wrong. You don't understand, you see, because there is no perfect man, you see. Get that yada dick sucking shit away from me, bro. His name is perfect, by the way, because when he talk, all I hear is yada, 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 yada. I'm not hearing shit you saying, bro. I listened to it, and I said, okay, it's official. This nigga's crazy. But he's crazy like a fox. Because his pandering ass is giving him a lifestyle. He's taking care of whoever those girls are, he's taking care of them off your dime. I want to meet the men that he's produced to live like him based off of his word. Because Kevin Samuels had a mixer group where couples were getting together before he passed. Does Cynthia G have one? Does Yada have one? I'm asking because I don't know. Get into a mixer group created by Derek Jackson. He probably gonna bang your wife. Next. I see the fruits of Anton Daniels' labor. It's pretty good. Now, modern day boxing fans, there's no rehabbing them. This is how they move and shake. limited education. They don't know the history. And we try to explain it to them. They don't have the mental discipline to sit down and listen. I've told people, go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing to get that education. How many of these YNs or old niggas with wine mentality even explored that? I said, go listen to Stormy B-Man. I've never seen a group of people get so mad because someone has the education to teach you something. You get mad because he knows shit. What happened this past Monday? That clown came in here. That little boy came in, a 22-year-old little boy came in here. That was probably him. He had enough time to make all of these channels. And he was saying all kinds of weird stuff. And, you know, we had to, and shout out to Copper. We had to pull up what Usyk said. And I said, well, if he said this then, what makes you think that he didn't say what he said about Bud right now? And at the end of the day, what was his last comment in my comment section? You guys are bullies. F Stormy and F you, Drew, and you guys are bullies. I'm leaving. Sign language. What did the Godfather say sign language was? Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. There is no understanding in between. When you're getting body bagged in a conversation, then you try and shame a person. Oh, that's why you're fat. That's why you're skinny. That's why your head big. Okay, yeah, we passed that. Address the topic, though. Try to shame you. Then they try to insult you. Then they try to put guilt on you. Well, you don't feel, well, Tank a black man too. Yeah, what kind of black man is he? Because Bill is a black man. Devin's a black man. So what are we talking about? And because you feel the need to be right, well, I just fuck with Tank. I don't care. All right. Old school AOL. Goodbye. Goodbye. And the young kid excused himself. Good choice. But if it's really a bad choice if you're looking for an education. If you're not looking for an education, I can't help you. But whatever. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. You don't have to listen. But that's my look into the process of a modern boxing fan. You're equivalent to modern women. You argue about a whole lot of nothing, and you really don't know shit. You have nothing to show for it. You have this big opinion about the sport. And then when I ask you something simple like, well, wait, hold on. How old are you? I'm 19. Okay. How long you been watching boxing? 4 years. Goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, man, Deontay got screwed out of a portion of his career. They treated him bad. They cheated him. No, because all he had was the right hand in it. Yeah, but Eddie Hearn and Daniel Kinahan and, you know, everybody was in on it. The deflated gloves and Tyson Fury's past and no, he just got skinny legs. People don't know what they don't know. You're fucking retarded, and I get it.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your mom
makes me so mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. And you might not get out of the stadium tonight. You gotta be cool because you been watched.
Y'all know that was Bob Earl sitting right next to him, right? Y'all speak so highly about Fury, but what y'all know about this?
So there's been a few, but people take drugs, don't they, in boxing? They all take drugs, I'd say. All of them.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say they're all abusing performance enhancers or weight strippers or whatever they're going to do to take drugs. I think they all take drugs. All athletes.
Define all. Who's
everybody?
Well, obviously you're not talking about yourself, so.
The devil is a motherfucking liar. So you know I ain't worried. Bitch. Stupid bitch.
Man, salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat. I'll probably do pep talk tonight. I don't know. But check the Patreon. I go over there to let loose. Go subscribe to my Patreon. I'm cooking over there. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.